Hello, it's June 2023, and before I get into this video, I just want to highlight something that my, for example, video efforts primarily focus on, for example, whistleblowing and exposing first-hand knowledge. And that ties into, for example, my personal story for the past decade and counting. And sometimes I do go off on tangents that relate to that. Sometimes I go off on other tangents, and sometimes those tangents relate to me personally, and so forth. And I've even done, for example, humorous videos over time just to kind of lighten things up for everyone and, show that I have a humor side. And I do like doing funny videos and so forth. And the reason why I keep reiterating the story for the past decade and counting is to keep the truth alive. It's a huge, serious topic, and it's not just about me. I'm just a small part of a bigger picture of that story. And my story also exposes other tangents from that with first-hand knowledge. So I just want to kind of highlight that. And some people like when I focus on my story or whistleblowing, exposing. Some people like when I go off on tangents, and some people like when I simply talk about my personal life. So I try to give a little bit of flavor in my video content. Now, with that said, what I like to focus on is something that's inspired by, well, a few comments made by a few followers, as well as a few friends I've had recent discussions with. And I'm going to be contrasting, for example, off-roading, overlanding, and survival or bug out. And kind of more focus on vehicle and equipment that you can carry with you. And just, I know this is kind of everyone's going to have an opinion or their own ideas and everything else. And I'm just trying to be general here and simplify everything. And perhaps there's something that you can take from this for yourself. Maybe you are interested in going into the wilderness, for example, in a vehicle, and you're not quite sure how to set yourself up or anything else. And I'm not going to be discussing specific gear, definitely not promoting any brands or anything else, because I'm not going to be talking about that. I just want to briefly, basically, go over the fundamental differences. And again, hopefully this can assist you with if you're planning on buying a vehicle and what you should carry with you. Now, I'm going to start off with off-roading. Now, off-roading, generally speaking, is either a day adventure or even a long weekend adventure. Could even be a little bit longer, a vacation for a week or whatever. And you're hitting the trails and you're going over obstacles, through obstacles, and, just having a great time. That type of thing puts a lot of stress on your vehicle, and people build out, for example, vehicles specific to doing a certain task, like rock crawling. Then you have specific builds for going through lots of mud and marsh and everything else. So there's different kinds of builds for this. And usually what you carry with you, for example, food and supplies, is enough to get you through a weekend or however long you plan on being out for. And usually these are like a day trip, maybe an overnight camp, and you're gone. And basically that's off-roading, is you're going to challenge yourself and your driving abilities. And a lot of people, especially people who've never been off pavement, don't understand. It's not just you just have a 4x4 and you go off and just drive like you would on the pavement, but you're going over rocks. There's a lot of skill sets that you have to learn, like how to pick your lines, and so you don't damage your vehicle or have a fatal accident or anything else. A lot of things that you have to learn, a lot of skill sets, and you have to know your vehicle. And then a 4x4 doesn't necessarily mean it's a true 4x4. You need to be able to, for example, lock your transfer case, lock your front and rear axles, etc. So not all vehicles are built the same, and you have solid front axles, and you have independent front suspension. And there's a huge controversy among people who are more into it, which is better. I have my own thoughts on this, but I'm not going to share that. So in a nutshell, that's off-roading. Is your very short term. You carry what you need to, you know, for several days, maybe even a week. Now, overlanding is a little bit more long-term, or perhaps even long-term, where your adventure might be a week to a month to maybe even a year. So your vehicle needs to be able to go off-road, and you need those skill sets, and you're going to find there's going to be a lot of crossover between the three different genres. But what you carry with you makes the difference how long you can stay out and how much comfort you want. Okay, so when you're doing overlanding, your vehicle is not an expert in rock crawling or going through mud or anything else. It can do everything, but it's not going to be the best. You know, when you compare it to, say, a rock crawler, specific rock crawling, you're not going to be able to necessarily keep up to them when they go over the really hard rock obstacles. Okay, you might be able to get over them, but the idea is to do your best, have some fun, maybe even drive around it. Okay, now a bug out vehicle or survival vehicle, you're carrying things that, for example, you don't know when you're going to be coming back to civilization. Maybe the civilization doesn't even exist. There's no return. So everything that you carry with you is for definitely the long haul, and relying less on going in for supplies or stopping somewhere for supplies, say for example like you would do with an overland setup. So everything that you carry with you is to get you through, to survive. And again, whatever luxuries that you want to take and everything else. And your build might consist of, for example, of a bumper basket that goes into your 2-inch receiver, so you can carry maybe more fuel, more supplies, or whatever. But when it comes to off-roading, you're not necessarily want that, because for example, your departure angle is going to be greatly affected, which means you'd have to remove it. And you know, you're not going to take something like that when you're just off-roading, having fun, say on a vacation trip or a weekend. So these are all different things that you want to consider when you're thinking about, well, what do I want to do? Do I just want to off-road, have some fun for a weekend? Do I want to go overlanding trip, explore? Or do you want a survival rig where you explore to get to somewhere and then settle down for a long period of time, or what have you? That's really the differences between the three. And a lot of people, as I said, who don't understand, who've never been off the pavement, may not even understand what the differences are. And if you're thinking about, yeah, I would like to go out into the wilderness, backcountry, whatever, the bush, maybe this will help you out, try to figure out what you want to do. Okay, and there is a big overlap between the three, because you need the off-roading skill sets, you need to know your vehicle has to be a proper vehicle, and you want to be equipped for whatever it is that you want to do. You want to prepare to live out of your vehicle full-time forever, as descriptive. Do you want to go exploring, or do you want to just have some fun? So anyway, I hope this kind of gives us some insight into the three different genres of, as a descriptive, off-roading. What would be some equipment you would want for all three? Well, it all depends on how much comfort you want. You can have a portable fridge freezer, definitely a game changer. The size of the fridge freezer depends on how long you plan on going out for. If you're going out for the weekend, you can get a small one. If you're going overlanding, you get a medium one. If you're no return scenario survival, you may want a bigger one. It all depends on how much space you have in your vehicle. Okay, so anyway, just things to think about. I'd like to thank everyone for their comments. I don't always get notifications of comments or anything, but you know, when I do see one that's been missed, I do give a thumbs up, and I do appreciate everyone's comments and their input. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, oh, when is it going to get easier? When you die.